Well, obviously we had too many turnovers in the first half, but our defense kept us in the game. At halftime, we talked about that we could have been 42-45 to 7, but it wasn't that, thanks to our defense. The second half, defense played outstanding as far as getting the 6 turnovers, and they were possessed. Guys like our defensive tackles, Kaniela and Von Meatonga played an outstanding game, 2 sacks, and was all over the field. After the game, he couldn't even talk. He had IVs in him, and he played, as you say, completely to exhaustion. Some players that really played well were, I mentioned those 2. Aaron Brown played great. Corey played hurt and played the whole game. Richard Torres played an outstanding game turnover-wise. Billy Ray, Joey Asefa played an outstanding game. The last series we came up short. You got to give San Jose State credit, and they moved the ball on us and opened it up to questions.
Coach, I think the thing that everybody's talking about is those block kicks on extra points and field goal attempts. It's so rare to get an extra point blocked and taken back.
Yeah.
So 2 points, it's happened twice. Are you like blowing your mind over what's going on?
Yeah, it happened against Boise State twice a few years ago. Same type of thing. And we have, that's unacceptable, to have kicks blocked. And, we met as a coaching staff, and we're changing our scheme. We're changing personnel, and we're going back to an interlocking scheme that we obviously can't do what we're doing now. It's coming from the same place. It always has. It wasn't in the kickers. It wouldn't. We had plenty of. The ball was down. The kickers kicked. It was coming from inside A gaps, and we can't allow that. So that's been fixed, and now we practice it this week, and that's where we are on that. We can't allow that.
So you said it wasn't necessarily as much an execution thing as perhaps just a systemic or schematic thing, just kind of the way they were lining up?
Yeah, it was the way we were blocking it was the problem. And, they sent a big guy through the A gap, and he got his hand up and blocked the ball. And we've had that before. And we've changed personnel. And, we're going to change the scheme.
Is that something that initially then is the responsibility of the special teams coach? Is that something that you had to correct with him? And was that perhaps a miscue or misfiring on his part? So
no, it's nobody's fault. I take responsibility for everything. And but what it is that I got together with the special team staff and Gordy, and we've got to do it another way. And they're completely, they're knowledgeable about it, and it'll be fixed. And it's, that's just it. At a time like this, everybody wants to point fingers, and as I told my team after the game, anything you say about anything or any fingers you point at somebody, look in the mirror first and make sure that you did everything you're supposed to do. And same type of thing. You point your finger at somebody, there's a finger pointing right back at you. So we're staying together. There are a lot of people jumping off ship, and that always happens. That's the name of football. That's the game. That doesn't bother me. They'll be back when we're winning. We have 7 or 8 ball games left, and we're 3-3 right now. We really, our goal right now is to win 4 more games and get bowl eligible. And then it depends on the games we win in the WAC. If we win the WAC games, which we're taking 1 game at a time, we have New Mexico State this week, then we have our own destiny ahead of us, and we'll end up like we did last year, and 1 tie, all tie type of thing. But we have a lot ahead of us, and we're going to take them 1 at a time. And New Mexico State's our next game. And quite honestly, I give San Jose State credit. I put it on our defense, who had been playing really well. It's 4th and 16. At first, I was going to go for 4th and 16. You notice I called the timeout. And the reason I didn't, that really put the offense in a bad situation in my mind. That was my decision. They were always ready to go for it. But that's a pretty tough call. And I asked Gordy and Dick if they've got fixed the A gap, and they had another person in there, and so we went for a 42-yard field goal, which should be a piece, and it got blocked. It didn't hurt us because our defense held, and but that's where we were.
You talked about changing the personnel there. Who do you want to put in there now?
Well, we're working on that right now.
But it'll be lineman. Who's been more of an offensive lineman type as opposed to a special team type of lineman?
Well, it's always been offensive lineman, but it may be a defensive lineman. It's going to be a tough, hard-nosed mother that's not going to get pushed out of the way. I'll tell you that.
You open it up in practice to see audition guys, or
no.
Get over there and
no, we're going to teach guys that we know. We don't need auditions. We just need to get a guy that can do the job. And like I said, we're gonna do a new scheme. We're gonna interlock our legs and go back to old hard-nosed football.
New Mexico State, you look down there?
A little bit. I know they've lost 2 quarterbacks. I know they have a great running back. I haven't looked a lot at them. We've been looking at this. There's one more. I don't know if you guys you haven't asked about it, but there was another decision that was made, and that was a 3rd and 1 situation where Joey, we actually, it was a 3rd and 1 situation, 3rd and less than 1, whatever. But the reason that I made the decision to punt the ball is that if an offensive team knows you're going to run the football, and we're not going to pass on that situation, it's just like us on the goal line. They were on the one a couple of times and couldn't get in, and if they can put up 8 and 9 man front with our inexperienced line, I would rather punt it. We have a good punting team, and put it in the defenses. There's a minute 26 left with no timeouts. I'd rather put it in our defenses, and that's why I made that decision.
Was there a problem with the spot? Do you think you made first down on that?
Well, I watch the game behind the offense because I can see the whole thing, and guys were saying we got a bad spot, but it wasn't such until I saw it on TV, and it looked like it was on the yellow line. That where the knee goes down, you don't know. If you're just hearing that, I didn't see the spot, but I heard it was a bad spot. I don't know if his knee was down. I haven't looked at it that closely. all I know is 3rd and 1 or 3rd and short, and any pro coach or any coach that knows what he's doing isn't going to go for it, because you're going to just be running into the guys. So, and when your defense is playing like it was.
6 turnovers. To get 6 turnovers in the second half?
6 turnovers in the second half, I think, is the most I've been around. They played possessed. They did a great job. They stripped the ball. We talked about that at halftime, that we had given up 5 turnovers, and they've averaged 3 a game, and that we have got to get turnovers, on defense to help out our offense. And they went out and just took care of it. They stripped the ball. The interceptions were all knifing off of guys and getting the ball and just great breaks. And I really admire, with the exception of that last drive, which is a shame because they really played good. They kept us in the first half, and then they made the second half what it was. And there's been, we don't have a prevent defense, and I know there's been comments that we went into a prevent. We didn't go into it. We don't have a prevent defense. We have a last play defense, but we played, actually we were blitzing on their last touchdown. So, we don't have a prevent defense. I don't believe in prevent defense.
What's the help status for you guys, Aaron Brown and
all 3 of our linebackers are not going to play for a day or 2. And, Corey really sucked it up, and Aaron sprained it at the end, and then, obviously, Art Laurel hurt his hand. So I'm not sure if he broke it or what happened, but he's not going to be practicing for a little bit.
Even with a broken hand, you expect him to be able to play?
Yeah, I think all 3 of them will play. I think we really have to watch Corey, because Corey is such a tough guy. He's going to try to play his best, but he played a lot, and he's just a tough guy, and he just can't run as fast right now.
Okay, question about the George ever get in at all?
I don't think I think Corey plays the whole game.
How's Royce's hamstring?
Royce is going to have to miss a few days too,
yeah.
And we may make some moves there at the receiver spot. But we were just talking about. I just got out of a staff meeting. He didn't pull his hamstring. It's just really tight. So I would think he'll be able to play, but he won't practice for a day or so.
People stop. You create a nice problem for you, where you now have 3 guys, 2 spots. Is that you can keep that from rotation there now?
Yeah, or we could move Billy Ray out to outside and play the 2 inside. So I mean, we have some movement we can do, but we've got several receivers. Now all of a sudden we have pretty good depth. We get Royce back, and but we have some movement that we can do.
But the plan is still to keep Trevor Davis on the redshirt track?
Well, that could be, and it could not be. It depends on Royce's situation. Trevor's ready to come out of redshirt. Trevor Davis is one of our better receivers as a freshman. And if he did come out, he would start. I mean, he'd play. But we've been taking him on all the trips with that in mind. He's learned. He knows what's going on. He's outstanding. And if we have the ability to do that, then we'll try to do that. But we have some games to win. We have more games to win, and then we have 4 more games to win to go to a bowl game. And then if we win the right ones, the league games, then we're in the same situation we were last year. So that's what our goals are.